lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue.
Good morning. Welcome to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I'm your host, Steve Copeland, and thank you for tuning in. Let's have a great day.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I hope that all of you that are traveling today are safe, and just be very, very careful. There's going to be a lot of people on the road today, so be very careful. I would like to just start off by saying that, yes, today is Memorial Day, and on the radio, we're not supposed to have any silence, so to speak, but let's just take a moment for a second to honor all the many men and women that have fought for our country so that we can have the freedoms that we have. Okay, thanks. But let's celebrate today. Let's celebrate our freedoms. I'm going to share something with you that means an awful lot to me. Now that I'm part of Talk Network Radio, Jeff Heiser's organization, there's a magazine that's an online magazine called Connect 10. And it's an online magazine, and it is just one wonderful, wonderful magazine. And I'm honored that I've been able to write an article for it. And the May issue that came out earlier in the month was for Memorial Day was the theme. And so I wrote an article, and I'd like to share that with you. And if you want to be able to read the article yourself and read other wonderful articles in the magazine, go to talknetworkradio.com and click on, at the top, Connect 10. And I think you're going to love that I've introduced you to Connect 10. It's just an inspirational, wonderful articles, and so I hope you visit that. But I dedicate this to the many men and women that have served our country, and I hope that you enjoy this. Who is your favorite hero or heroes in American history? Recently, our First Lady, Melania Trump, gave a speech at the International Women of Courage Awards ceremony about true heroes. She said many incredibly powerful words about the 12 women being honored. Quote, "These honorees on the stage with me have fought for their rights and for the rights of others. Each battled forces such as governments, the courts, gender bias, terrorism, war, and corruption, and were willing in each moment to face harsh penalties, including imprisonment and death. As they continue to persevere against unimaginable odds, these women are extraordinary examples of reaching within to find the courage that lies inside us all to change the world." End quote. As I listened, I thought back to a question that I've asked many times since being in the 4th grade studying Virginia history. Who is your favorite hero or heroes in American history? Since memorizing Patrick Henry's "Give me liberty or give me death" speech, which he delivered at St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, on March 23rd, 1775, just prior to the Revolutionary War, he became my favorite American hero. His passion and willingness to die for freedom has inspired me my entire life. It was the beginning of my deep love of freedom and respect and admiration for the men and women who have fought and died so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we do in this great country of ours, the U.S. of A. I'm proud that I memorized that speech over 50 years ago and still share it often. Gentlemen may cry, "Peace, peace," but there is no peace. Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry remained my favorite American hero until I had the honor and privilege to visit the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas in 1975. Since standing on that sacred ground, I can say without hesitation that my favorite American heroes are the heroes of the Alamo. While answering the call for Texas freedom, they knew they were going to die. Standing there brought back a million memories of watching the original epic 1960 movie, The Alamo, with John Wayne as Davy Crockett, Richard Widmark as Jim Bowie, Lawrence Harvey as Colonel William Travis, and Richard Boone as Sam Houston. The 2004 remake starring Billy Bob Thornton as Davy Crockett is also a great movie. On October the 2nd, 1835, while under Mexican rule, the Texas Revolution began. During the first 3 months of the Revolution, the Texians were able to drive out all Mexican troops. General Antonio López de Santa Anna, President of Mexico, personally led over 7,000 troops into Texas to put down the rebellion. Sam Houston, the leader of the Texians, needed more time to build his army to fight Santa Anna. He placed Colonel William Travis with a small number of soldiers in the Alamo, a Roman Catholic mission and fortress compound founded in the 18th century to hold off Santa Anna as long as possible. The Alamo was strategically located in the path of General Santa Anna as he entered Texas. The call went out throughout the United States for those believing in freedom to come to the aid of Texas in its fight against Mexico. Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and others found their way to the Alamo and joined with Colonel Travis. 182 men fought in the Alamo. These brave men miraculously held the Alamo for 13 days, giving Sam Houston the time he needed. On March the 6th, 1836, Santa Anna's troops attacked the Alamo, killing all of the Texian defenders. "Remember the Alamo!" became the war cry of the Texian army, who 6 weeks later, on April the 21st, 1836, at the Battle of San Jacinto, defeated Santa Anna's army that had been seriously depleted by the brave, courageous men who gave their lives for the cause of freedom at the Alamo. Heroism is timeless. I quote again from Melania Trump's speech, quote, "Ask yourself if you would have the fortitude of spirit, the courage of your convictions, and the enormous inner strength required to stand up and fight against such overwhelming odds," end quote. The heroes of the Alamo did. I thank them for what they did and for the love of freedom that they instilled in me. I thank all of the men and women who have fought and died for our country. We are the land of the free because of the brave. Ask yourself, who is your favorite hero or heroes in American history? It's worth thinking about. Thank you very much for listening to that. I love this country, and again, I thank all of the men and women that have fought so bravely for the freedoms that we have. God bless. Well, today is part 2 of personal finance and small business ownership. And I want to thank the many people that have reached back to me to let me know what they got out of the show last week. One of the best things that I got as a response was I had mentioned that I am mentoring several mature, wonderful women over in Newport News that are working to start their own adult daycare. And when I went Monday night after my show last week, Elena, she told me that she had heard my show that day. The timing was perfect for me because the very things that I had talked about on the show about the thinking like an owner and the risk of going into business and needing to do a flow chart to get your ideas organized and being able to understand the personal and business relationship as it depletes your resources as you start your business, and it makes your personal budget harder to to meet and your credit worthiness can suffer, the importance of creating a profit and planning to have enough working capital to weather the storm until you get further along in your business. Those are the very things that I was working with her and Jackie, and the fact that she had heard my radio program that morning and told me how much she got out of it and thanked me, I just want to tell you, I hope more people, I hope a lot of people can get that out of this show, because that's what this is to tell you that, yes, you can succeed, but you have to do things in the right order. You have to have the right mindset. And so I'm here to start at wherever we start and then go from there. I always try to give some biblical, spiritual insights as to what I'm going to be talking about. And Donna and I, my wife, as we prepared for today's show, we talked about it. And what we want to just put out there today is just very straightforward. And it's coming from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verses 6 through 12. And I'm just going to read it real quick. This is Paul on his journeys talking to the Thessalonians. Now we command you, brothers, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you keep away from any brother who is walking in idleness and not in accord with the tradition that you received from us. For you yourselves know how you ought to imitate us, because we were not idle when we were with you, nor did we eat anyone's bread without paying for it. But with toil and labor we worked night and day, that we might not be a burden to any of you. It was not because we do not have that right, but to give you and ourselves an example to imitate. For even when we were with you, we would give you this command: if anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. Oh, that's some pretty serious stuff that I just put out there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, one of my main themes of everything that I do is I teach and try to help people succeed and have a better life. It's about taking responsibility. Now, let me tell you, if you're down and you need a helping hand, then it's fine to receive from others and to get yourself moving in the right direction while you have others help you. But what I'm talking about right now is, for those of you that want to take that responsibility and want to be an entrepreneur, want to have your own small business, that's the kind of mentality that you need to have. In other words, in some of the best books that are out there on personal finance, Jim Stovall, the subtitle of his book on the Ultimate Financial Plan is Get Your Life in Order. I don't have the book right in front of me. It's Get Your Life in Order, Balance Your Life and Your Money. That's what it is. I apologize, Jim, for taking so long to spit it out like that. But he's saying, in order to succeed financially, you need to be very much focused with who you are and what your goals are, what your vision is, and get your life in order, and then put together the plan to have it happen. So right before I got on the air today, I listened to my show from last week, so that I said this is part 2. We're just going to try to pick right up where we left off. And I gave people, the listeners, all of you, a homework assignment. I said, if you really want to be self-employed, then this week, do your flow chart. And the flow chart is just a very, very simple layman's way to lay out your thoughts in an organized way to start to focus what it is that you're getting ready to get into. And if you don't get organized and you just get out there and say, hey, let's do it. Let's get started in this business.